Welcome to Tamriel Rebuilt's Summer 2016 update video. This month, we have general news and a glimpse into our production pipeline. First, the updates. As usual, work is continuing across the project on a variety of fronts. The Middle Thur is undergoing a visual update to include more orange and yellow in the color scheme. This will help with the transition from the green Ascadian Isles in the north to the more orange Orethan and Sheep-al Shin regions to the south. Currently, we are experimenting with new ground textures and recolored foliage. Regions that have been up in the air for a while are undergoing review and becoming finalized to assist in our ongoing coordination with Project Tamriel. The Imperial Legion, the Imperial Navy, and their hierarchy and quest lines are under discussion. If you are interested in their lore, now is a great time to jump into the discussion on our forums. More books and quests are in progress. One of our new books is a Western grimoire of legendary Daedra and creatures, featuring woodcut-style illustrations. More website improvements are on the way. Our most recent updates are to the handbook and the launch of the Asset Browser. The Asset Browser is our new library of textures, models, books, quest ideas, and so on. We're still looking for help with Drupal and web design to continue improving our site. If you're interested, please contact us on our forums. Tamriel Rebuilt now has an Instagram account. You can follow us there to receive updates, new screenshots and art, and lore tidbits. And now, the highlight of our video. The Deshaun Plains. It's time to learn a little about our pipeline here at Tamriel Rebuilt, and why there isn't a new release this quarter. Since early 2016, TR has been actively working on the Deshaun Plains. The Plains are the most well-known southern region of Morrowind and are occupied by House Drez. Until recently, the Plains were just a brown blob on the bottom of TR's preview file and a haze of ideas, but over the last 6 months they have become much more solid. Development on the Deshaun Plains began several years ago on the old TR forums. The first take on the plains was a dry, flat, salty landscape. Over the next few years, discussion and concepts were gradually accumulated and refined. In early 2015, the discussion was revived, and in December, the TR team decided to open work on this new territory. Tamriel Rebuilt's development pipeline begins with brainstorming. We make map, concept art, and construction set mock-ups of our widely varying ideas about how the landscape could look and how the people there live. During brainstorming, we look at the atmosphere and feel of the wilderness and the cities, region borders and names, a rough height map, the locations of cities and towns, plants, creatures, color schemes, architecture, and terrain features. Through forum discussions and a series of public development meetings, we condense the ideas together into something more cohesive. Over time, the concepts mature, eventually ending as references for assets to be created. The assets then undergo a series of revisions and improvements until they are ready to be used. Meanwhile, we begin implementation planning, where we plan out potential quests for the area, plan and assemble tile sets and asset packages, finalize city locations and region borders, and so on. This is currently where we stand with the Deshaun Plains. The end product of this is a completed region document and several demo cells in the construction set. The ideas in the document are left open for refinement and collection of additional concept art. Once the implementation planning is complete, it's time to open up the region for construction. Right now, we're in implementation planning and are working on completing the plants, animals, architecture, and terrain assets. Some concepts are already made, others are ready to go, and still others are in progress. If you like drawing ideas, making models, or making textures, now is a great time to join the project and lend a hand. Don't forget that active discussion is still happening on House Dress and the lore and quest lines all over the province. If you like to chat about lore or make stories, quests, or books, you are welcome too. Over the last 6 months, TR has been focusing our efforts on designing the Dashon and coordinating with Project Tamriel. Because the Dashon district isn't open for construction yet, all the work we've been doing is online. Therefore, there's very little new in the game world for players to see and do. There is, however, a lot of new stuff on our forums. That's why there's no new ESM this quarter. So, what can you look forward to in the Deshaun Plains? It's owned by the xenophobic House Dress, who rose to prominence and infamy through economic dominance and slavery. The Dashon is the breadbasket of Morrowind and provides salt rice for the entire province, made possible by the backbreaking labor of Argonian slaves. People familiar with Elder Scrolls Online's take on the Dashon will be in for a surprise, as our version predates and radically differs from the fertile and unremarkable valleys suffering under the Malborn. In our version, the Dashon is a highly hostile wasteland, scored by sandstorms and poisonous gases. Dangerous creatures roam the surface and fly overhead, and the roads are hardly used. The horizon is broken only by the monolithic dress clansteads, native plants, and sky-render nests. The salty, barren landscape flourishes in select locations where dress ingenuity and slave labor brings water from underground canals to the surface, irrigating the salt rice fields that feed Morrowind. The plains are riddled with cracks and crevasses, many of which merge into underground crystal caves full of strange salts, some valuable, some magical, and many poisonous. These cave networks link to the subterranean canals used to ship salt rice to Lake Andarum. Above ground, House Dress watches over their territory from their strongholds and the backs of Skyrenders, keeping an eye on their slaves and any outlanders unwise enough to wander the plains. Trading and interaction is limited to their 2 port cities of Tyr and Dres Horak. Unlike the Vardenfell Greathouses, the Dress have kept to their worship of the better ancestors, the good Daedra, and their willingness to ruthlessly strike deals is at the center of the house, as the player will learn if they choose to join Great House Dress and rise in its ranks. If you want to learn more or help us bring this vision to fruition, come visit us on our website, tamriel-rebuilt.org. We are looking for help of practically any kind, and the best way to do that is to drop by the forums. You can also check us out on our Facebook page, Tumblr, YouTube, Instagram, Discord, or IRC. The March 2016 version of Tamriel Rebuilt is available on our site and also at TES Nexus and Great House Fliggerty.